Hello there, Talkin fight fans around the world. Welcome once again to another episode of the Olympics. It's a special episode featuring Christian from the Friday night panel, and it's basically a run up to the Olympics taking place in Tokyo in July. What do you have for us today, Christian?
Well, Graham, you know how the last little while you've been asking me that, and I said I've got great news. I can tell you that there's been no major rule changes, no personnel, no venue. No, I can't do that today. We actually do have some announcements to make that are going to affect the Olympics and the Olympic boxing in general. So this is actually the end of a follow-up to a story that we've been covering for the last little while now, specifically regarding the Tokyo Organizing Committee and the recent departure of its head and replacement. So just to finish things off here, the Tokyo Olympic Games, this is the organization committee we're talking about. They're set to add 12 new female directors to its executive board. Now, this move comes after longtime President Yoshiro Mori was forced to quit after making sexist remarks. His female replacement, Seiko Hashimoto, aims to have the women make up 40% of the board members. The changes, just 5 months before the games begin, come after public outrage over Mr. Mori's complaint that women talk too much in meetings. So, the committee's chief executive, Toshiro Muto, said on Tuesday that the group planned to add 12 new female directors to its board, raising the total number of women on the board up to 42%. He was quoted as saying, "It's possible to add 12 more members, so we decided to add 12 women to the board of directors." He said this during a meeting of the executive board. The organizers agreed to a rule change allowing a maximum of 45 members, which is up from the current level of 35 members. Ms. Hashimoto said that the new members would be announced after being approved by committee members. That's happening later today. Ms. Hashimoto herself a 7-time Olympian, I think we've talked about. She also said, regarding the promoting of gender equality, I believe that it is necessary to take swift action and provide solid results in order to rebuild trust in the organizing committee. Mr. Mori had, or Mori, depending on the pronunciation there, had previously commented that should the number of female board members be increased, that they would have to, quote, make sure that their speaking time was somewhat limited, as they have difficulty finishing, which can be annoying, according to Mr. Mori. He later apologized for his inappropriate statement, adding that the priority was to make sure that the Olympics were held this upcoming July. So I'm glad that we can put this one to bed. We've got a new committee head who's fulfilling the committee's mandate to move closer to gender equality as well as equal representation. So that's all good news out of Japan this morning. But moving along to a story that's frankly baffling. The location has finally been announced for the rescheduled European qualifier. Drum roll.
Yes,
Paris.
Waiting.
Paris.
What?
Paris has been chosen. No, Paris has been chosen to stage the rearranged, rescheduled European qualifier for the postponed Olympic Games in Tokyo. The BBC brought us this one this morning. It blew my mind. The International Olympic Committee Boxing Task Force, the BTF, which is organizing the qualifiers, confirmed that the French capital had replaced London as the host city for the event. The BTF said it had selected Paris, quote, as part of its initial commitment to organize its events in host countries of recent or upcoming Olympic Games because of the opportunity to continue to benefit from its already established relationship with the local organizing committee, which was originally entrusted to organize the now canceled final world qualifier. So Budapest had emerged as the favorite to stage the rescheduled competition, now being held from June 4th to 8th. And the Hungarian Boxing Federation had gone so far as to provisionally book a venue on those dates to host this. Copper Box on the Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park had originally been due to host the event, which began, as we know, about a year ago, before it was being suspended after just 3 days of competition due to COVID-19 outbreak. So the Boxing Task Force responsible for the qualifiers and for the boxing tournament at Tokyo 2020, after the IOC suspended the International Boxing Association's Olympic recognition, we've talked about that before, decided to move the event from London in January amid concerns over a surge that was happening in Britain at the time. So the IOC has deemed Paris was too dangerous for the world qualifier, but safe enough for the European qualifier. And there's been no talk of reestablishing the world qualifier. So I don't know about you, Graham, but I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this one.
I'm stunned. I don't know what to say.
I mean, because it's not like either one of them is going to be a small tournament. I mean, even with the tournament we're looking at in Spain right now, which is smaller than the one that took place last week in Bulgaria, is still seeing close to 200 boxers fighting. The Olympic Games are going to have over 200. This is this European qualifier is going to have 170 plus boxers coming. So it's not like it's limiting the numbers by going to the European as opposed to the world qualifier. So I'm just not sure how they're justifying, and unless this is just them backpedaling, going, we never should have canceled the world qualifier.
Right.
That is.
Right. And sorry, what was the date they selected for the European qualifiers?
June 4th to 8th.
No. So it's highly unlikely there'll be a world qualifiers between then and July. I'm hazarding a guess, but
no, I mean they've already said it's canceled. They're already looking. They'll be making the announcement in May who is qualified based on rankings due to the canceled world qualifier. I believe at least they'll be making some kind of announcement in May directly regarding that. Whether they're going to be taking tournament rankings into account right up until the tournament, they haven't said what their actual cutoff date is yet.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
So officially, then the only one we're looking for now is the Americas. Officially,
Buenos Aires. Yeah, Buenos Aires. That's scheduled for Buenos Aires.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're just waiting. So now we have venues, we have dates, we have locations. It's just a matter of hoping that there's no major outbreaks or flare-ups or anything like that between now and those tournaments to get them recanceled or rescheduled again. Hard to say. Now, let's jump off that for a quick second here, Graham, because I know we were talking a little bit about Boxing yesterday, which is the tournament that is currently going on in Spain. And we're going to be looking a little farther into that one as the week progresses and we get a little closer to the finals there. But this is one of those tournaments that, due to the canceled Paris tournament, which I guess we can't call it anymore because now there is going to be a Paris tournament. So the canceled. This is one of those tournaments that now is really helping out these boxers with their world rankings. So we've been paying a bit closer attention. And again, we'll be looking a little closer into it as we get a little further into the week, as we get closer to the finals. This is going to be running till the 6th. Out of the gate, though, as we've been talking about some boxing nations that we don't always hear about here in the West, Kazakhstan, like in Bulgaria last week, is off to a running start at this tournament. The 2021 International Boxing Tournament Boxing is currently underway in Castellón, Spain. Three Kazakh boxers so far have claimed victories on day one of the tournament. Pardon me. Sabir Khan Mahmoud of Kazakhstan stunned Perez Martin from Panama in the flyweight category of that's 52 kilograms. Kazakhstani Alblakan Zhushpov left no chances to the French boxer Hugo Grau in the welterweight category at 69 kilograms, and Zakir Safoulin of Kazakhstan defeated Abdelhak Nadir of Morocco in the light welterweight category at 63 kilograms. So all three of those Kazakh boxers are now going to be making it on to the next round of the tournament, and this is going to be running through to the 6th. So we're moving into the quarterfinals at this point in time. This tournament itself didn't have quite the same. Well, as we've talked before, these boxers aren't bouncing week after week into new tournaments, right? You do have a bit of downtime that you need, for recovery, for training, both mental and physical, for both of those things. So a lot of the names that we saw fighting last week in Sofia, we're not seeing fighting this week in Spain. So Sofia being the older tournament and arguably the more prestigious of the two, being in its 50th year versus the 72nd year for Sofia versus the 35th year for this particular tournament. The attendance was a little bit less. We had less boxers registering for this tournament than we did in Sofia. So a number of boxers were just on draws, including like MC Mary Kom out of India, jumped right through to the quarterfinals on draws alone, just based on the number of entrants that they had for this one. So once we move into the quarterfinals, we're going to see some names that we start to recognize a little bit more, and we're going to see some good action. So the day 2 is going on right now. Once again, the AIBA is providing streaming links on their Facebook page, not on the website, I don't believe, for some reason, but you can find it through their Facebook page, and that'll be running through the early afternoon if you're looking to see some more of that preliminary action as we move into the quarters and semis.
Awesome. Right on. Okay. Thanks very much, Christian. Appreciate the update. Is that it for today?
Those are the big headlines on the day. Yeah,
Right,
that's the big ones.
Not pressuring you at all. Just curious if you were pausing for a breath there, or that was it. So if that is it, then like, share, subscribe. And if you're subscribing, ring that bell. Okay, thanks, Christian. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Thank you.